If Keir Starmer makes it into number 10 next year, he may be a victim of the old adage, be careful what you wish for. If you think the Tories are divided compared to Labour in government, they'll look like the Von Trapp family in The Sound of Music. I can see Michael Gove in a dress made of curtains. There are cracks and fault lines across the entirety of Labour's policy agenda. Most recently, with Starmer's admirable stand on Israel, defending its right to self-defence and condemning Hamas. But soon after, we've seen Labour MPs dilute his message with protests from the Green benches about Israeli war crimes. Here's Labour MP Zara Sultana neatly illustrating my point yesterday in the chamber.
Palestinians must die before the Prime Minister condemns Israel for violating international law and calls for an immediate ceasefire.
So much for party unity. As Tom Harris points out in today's Telegraph, many Labour MPs are afraid to back Israel, the only democracy in the Middle East and the victims of a barbaric attack, because they have so many Muslim constituents. Now, these Labour MPs talk of ceasefire, except that's effectively asking Israel to be a sitting duck to more terror. A ceasefire is snake oil language. It's doublespeak for Israel, suck it up. If you thought October the 7th was bad, you don't think Hamas are planning worse? They have only one objective, genocide. And in the face of this rebadged Nazism, you'll continue to see Starmer and his party get themselves into a right old pickle over this issue. A worry if Starmer gets into number 10, especially for the Jewish community in this country. But it goes beyond foreign policy. Labour's woke agenda will also split the party if they make it to power. Having seen what happened to Nicola Sturgeon in Scotland, Starmer wants to limit people's ability to self-ID their gender. That means deciding from one day to the next that you're now a woman rather than a bloke. A sensible move from Starmer, but causing unrest among progressive backbenchers who think there are 100 genders. Labour is torn on net zero, with Starmer tearing up oil and gas licences and ditching petrol and diesel cars by 2030. Whilst Labour's big union backers at the GMB are absolutely furious. Why? Because they're worried about industrial jobs. Labour is split on Brexit, with many in his flock dreaming of single market access, a customs union, or even a return to the bloc, whilst Northern Labour voters will be spitting out their cup of Yorkshire tea at the very thought of it, as will Labour MPs representing them. Keir Starmer wants to stop the boats, as do a majority of the British people, but not a majority of the Labour Party, who, if we're honest, don't really believe in borders at all. Would Labour backbenchers vote for a Rwanda-style plan under a Starmer premiership? An Elvis Presley comeback is more likely. Meanwhile, Angela Rayner has boasted that she'll boost union power, enabling Mick Lynch and his pals to further hold the country to ransom. It all points towards a picture of a governing party that will be ungovernable. Everyone is expecting a landslide Labour victory, but as the Tories have proved, even an 80-seat majority can still get you in trouble when people rebel. And what if, as is more likely in my view, Labour achieve a slim victory next year and win a majority that's tighter than Mick Jagger's leather trousers? Starmer will only be able to deliver his agenda with the support of hard left backbenchers like Richard Bergen and John McDonnell, who will have him by the balls. That's if he's got any. Labour is more divided than a Pizza Express Quattro Stagioni. I predict that Starmer will be presiding not over the country, but over a civil war in his own party. I anticipate 5 years of infighting, power struggles and utter chaos in which Starmer could fall, only to be replaced by the more popular Angela Rayner. At which point, could the last person to leave Britain please switch the lights out?